Hey, Christian education team, and many of you in the church that might have an interest in Christian education here at Providence. Wanted to record a very short promotional video for our upcoming Christian education team meeting and lunch. It's going to be happening in the adult Sunday school classroom number 1 on May 1st, right after church at 12:15. So the Sunday before Mother's Day. All right, so May 1st, where Sunday school has officially ended. Officially ends on April 24th. So it's the Sunday, the first Sunday following the completion, really, of most of our Christian education ministries. Our Bible studies, our Sunday school ministry, and Covenant Kids have all come to a conclusion, I believe, in April. So we'll hold that meeting early enough so folks can come and don't have to pick and choose between that Mother's Day and some other events later on in May as well. So it's going to be a working lunch. So like we've done before in past meetings back in the fall and before that, it's kind of a working environment lunch. So it's not just a time for fellowship, though there will be some time for fellowship, but it's going to be a catered lunch. We'll find where to cater that from in the weeks ahead, but it will be a catered lunch. It's a working lunch environment, so we'll kind of eat and talk and discuss and be working through some material at the same time. Who is this meeting for? Well, specifically, it is for all those who are presently serving as volunteers in our Bible studies, in our children's or youth ministry, in our men's study, in our youth summer ministry as well, or for those that are interested in a general sense that have not got involved just yet or are interested to serve in the coming years. Would love to include you all. So you don't have to presently be having a ministry or volunteering in those to come. It's for those that are also interested as well, okay? What will be the content of the meeting? I'm going to go over this very quickly. There are 3 short sections that we're going to be discussing in general, though there will be some different moving parts in the meeting to go over. The first will be, for those that have served this spring, which will be many of you, we're going to have some teacher feedback forms for you to fill out for about a 5 to 10 minute period where I really would like you to fill out some questions, some answers for me, and to collect those. It's a lot easier to do all at once and try to email them out and slowly collect them. It's kind of painstaking to do that. So we're going to do some teacher leader feedback forms for all who have served through the spring with the youth or the children's or the men and women's Bible studies in any kind of consistent capacity of teaching and leading. We'd like to get your feedback in a logistical sense, a little bit of a feedback on content, but also, and I think most importantly, a spiritual feedback on just the dynamics in the ministry that you were leading, how kids or young people or adults were not growing, and it would be good to get your feedback on that. Secondly, it's going to be a time of discussion to talk about, again, best practices. And this is important for all of our teams, not just for Christian education, but for every team to give ideas and brainstorming. And it's just good to know, though, that as you do that, those will be filed away, okay? It might not get enacted or voted on or discussed, next semester, but it'll get filed away. I promise you that. We'll put those ideas down and consider those things, if not, in a personal meeting or another discussion later on. But those are good times for us to get together for brainstorming, not necessarily for executing that right away, but to start brainstorming ideas for the ministry in the future and things that are not, on the docket, things that we're not doing in the summer, or maybe some things we haven't considered. That's also a time for the brainstorming section and content of the meeting. And it's a good opportunity, I think, for you all to share kind of maybe some insights that you feel like would be good to include in the future. So we'd love to include that section as well. And then lastly, it's going to be some planning and forecasting, some mapping per se, some vision casting for some things that are coming up in the Sunday school ministry, the Covenant Kids ministry, and maybe even in our women's and men's ministry as well. And this is going to be some things that maybe you as leaders have already kind of told me in feedback that would be good to kind of adjust for the fall. Obviously, some of the CE team leaders have discussed some adjustments, maybe some enlargements of some things that we're doing that we'd like to share with you all and get some feedback on as well. And there also will be a kind of in a sense, kind of an updating and a furthering of the philosophy of ministry for a number of our ministries, specifically for the Sunday school ministry, the Covenant Kids ministry, furthering and developing those ministries with our philosophy and our best practices as well. So there'll be some discussion about forecasting, furthering and developing those ministries, and some vision casting. So if you would RSVP for me by, let's say, Friday, I think it's in April 29th, If you could make sure to RSVP by then, that would be great. So we have a head count for our Saturday time to get everything in order, for Rebecca and I to make sure that we get that stuff there for you. And please just bring people that are on the team or are interested in the meeting, though we'll see if we can find some childcare this time around, as I know that was a difficulty last time. So that is our CE team leaders meeting and lunch. And for anyone interested, on May 1st, it's a Sunday at 12:15 to 1:30 in the Classroom 1, the Adult Sunday School Classroom 1, and it'll be a working lunch. I hope to see you then.